The WNBA and its players care about the community. By refurbishing playgrounds in local neighborhoods, dedicating reading and learning centers throughout the country, and supporting education programs at local schools, the WNBA and its players are providing places where families can live, learn, and play. Together with thousands of volunteers, they are making a lasting impact by giving young people the tools they need for future success. WNBA Cares, combining basketball and service to the community.
Now welcome back to Seattle. Recently, in the last couple of weeks, the WNBA lost one of its own. One of the tallest women's basketball players in the world, Margot Diedick, 7 feet 2 inches tall, died May 27 from a heart attack at age 37. The former #1 overall pick in the 1998 draft and the all-time leader in the WNBA in block shots.
It definitely impacted the players around the WNBA. It's one of those players I played against, and just kind of a gentle giant out there on the floor, and someone you never heard anyone say anything but great things about Margot as a player and a person, and definitely missed.
Lauren Jackson with both free throws. And Seattle on top by 11. All of Jackson's points have come at the line. She's got 3. Seattle is a team 7 of 7 at the line. Diana Taurasi on the floor playing with 3 personal fouls. Shot clock at 5 for Penny Taylor. Here's Taurasi. She's got 6 points and able to bank it in. Foul called on Sue Bird.
What's most striking about that possession to me is that Diana Taurasi is making a play with a couple seconds left on the shot clock. When Phoenix is playing the game that they want to play, they're up and down in transition. The shot clock does not even come into play, and Sue Bird barely touches her on that one and sending Diana to the line. But more striking is that it symbolizes the fact that Phoenix has not been able to get their up and down quick transition game going.
How about Taurasi and Taylor doing all the scoring? They got 18 of the 24. For Phoenix.
You need more right now from Zawana Bonner. You need more from Candace Dupree.
Good defense there by Penny Taylor. And Taylor slips on the other end. Cash diving on the floor trying to tie her up. No whistle. Dupree got it blocked and gets it back.
And of course, Seattle, one of the best defensive teams in the WNBA last year, if not the best defensive team.
And traveling called on Taurasi. Apparently no foul there. Tanisha Wright on the defense. WNBA action on ESPN2 Thursday at 7. Washington, Atlanta. Then on June 14th, Indiana, Tulsa. Doubleheader on the 21st with Phoenix, San Antonio, followed by New York and Los Angeles. Candace Parker coming back from injury.
Eager to see with Indiana the development and maturation of Breanne January. Is she ready to really lead that team of veterans and get them back into an Eastern Conference final?
Bonner fouls Bird. That's her first. Second team foul. Well, you mentioned at the top of the show you think Seattle's the team to beat. Just about everybody in the league thinks that as well. What do you think could be a challenger to them? Is there someone like in L.A. with Parker back, or Minnesota with some of the new pieces they have there?
Oh, I think the West is going to be much improved from last year. Last year, Seattle was the only team in the West that had a winning record, especially with Parker back. They have Jantel Lavender. L.A. is going to be much better. I think Minnesota, with the pieces that they've added, especially when you look at Maya Moore, the exciting rookie coming in, is going to be very good. This Phoenix team, as the season goes on, I think the West is going to be really exciting to watch this year.
Well, you watched, obviously, a lot of Maya Moore's games at Connecticut as a former UConn star. Diana Taurasi with another bucket. It's a 3. She's got 12 points. Phoenix back within 5. How does Moore's game translate to the pros?
I think it translates really well. She's also, last year, was the only collegian on the national team, so she's used to playing against this level of talent, used to playing with this level, and I think she's going to have an outstanding rookie year.
Great look by Bird to Camille Little. 6th assist now for Sue Bird, Rebecca.
And she's so good. When a play breaks down, she can still find the open player right where they want the basketball.
Taurasi with the miss on the other end. Here's Wright with the pull-up. And boarded by Candace Dupree, who averaged about 8 rebounds per game a year ago. She's got 5 boards already here in the first half. Taylor on the drive, can't bank it in.
In Seattle right now, the fact that this is a group that has the 5 returning starters, it is showing their comfort level with one another on the offensive end.
Sue Bird goes down hard, a Phoenix foul. Very physical for a season opener. Bird appears to be okay. Back to Key Arena in a moment with the Storm on top by 7. Well, after running away with the Western Conference in the regular season, the Storm left no doubt when it came to crunch time who was the class of the WNBA in 2010. Seattle completed an undefeated postseason with its sweep of Atlanta, led by Sue Bird, Swin Cash, dominant performance by regular season and finals MVP Lauren Jackson. Combination of superstars that added up to the team's 2nd league championship. A lot has happened between championships for Seattle. 43 different players. Facebook went from under $1 million to $500 million. And Starbucks, of course, a flagship here in Seattle, sold 21 billion cups of coffee. I think I had a 20th of that this morning. Well, mainstays, obviously, Sue Bird and Lauren Jackson from that 2004 season. Somebody, Rebecca, that played at the highest level of this game. How hard is this to repeat? Why hasn't it happened more in the WNBA?
I think just because there's so much talent now spread throughout the league. I mean, you saw the Houston Comets do it 4 times early on in the league, but now there's so many good players, and the talent is spread around the league. There's only 132 roster spots. I mean, there's just from 1 through 11 on every team, the players are really good, and you have to stay healthy, and it's a grueling season, and it's very difficult to do.
Sometimes former players don't like it when you say the players are better now or the game is better now. What do you think about that? Because that's what seems to be the sentiment around women's basketball.
I think the players are better now. I think from 1 to 11. I mean, Cynthia Cooper would be in the running for an MVP today, just like she was in the early part of the league. But I think when you look at players 1 through 11 with only a 12-team league, the talent overall is better, much better than it was 15 years ago.
Ashley Robinson picks up the foul. Taurasi way off with a long 3. 3rd team foul on Seattle as we near the 2-minute mark with the Storm ahead by 9. Braxton, nice move in the lane.
How about that? That's a 6'6" big body making that move, putting the ball on the floor and finishing. That's not easy to do in that frame.
6 points now. I'll make that 4 for Kara Braxton, her 2nd field goal. She also has 4 rebounds. Shot clock inside of 10 for Seattle. Bird leaning in and wave it off. Traveling is called. Corey Gaines was shouting it, and he was right next to the official, Clark Stevens, who made the call.
Yeah, it was her pivot foot. She shuffled it a little bit. Her step-through foot was a good move, but she shuffled the one that was on the floor.
Corey Gaines, former player in the NBA, spent 5 years in the league, and then also played at UCLA and Loyola Marymount College. Braxton called for traveling on the other end. Now, you mentioned, Rebecca, how few roster spots there are in the WNBA. Of course, a lot fewer teams. But look at the available roster spots by professional sports.
And granted, fewer teams, but percentage-wise, I mean, compared to an NBA team, there's just so few spots. A lot of really good players got cut this year. Shamika Christian, one of the better players in the league a couple years ago, got cut from Chicago just because she was injured and they couldn't afford to keep her.
2nd field goal for Bird. 6 points, 6 assists now for the 10th-year pro out of Connecticut. All of her points coming in the quarters. Funny, she said when she got the microphone during the ring ceremony, when she got drafted by Seattle, she wasn't too thrilled at first about coming out here, growing up on the East Coast and playing at Connecticut as Braxton scores. But obviously, this is her home now.
And then she met Lauren Jackson and things changed.
Nice move by Bird. Back-to-back field goals for her. quiets the crowd with the silky smooth J.
She's just so good and so dangerous when she gets the ball in her hands, because there's sometimes she takes shots. Any other player, you wouldn't want them taking that shot, but with Diana, it goes through so smooth.
8 1/4, 14 points in the game for Taurasi. Seattle, with that miss by Smith, is now under 80% shooting from the field. 73 for the quarter from the floor for Seattle, but only a 7-point lead. Bird picking up a foul on the other end, her second. Fourth by Seattle. Coming up at the half, we'll head to Dallas. A preview of Game 3 of the NBA Finals with Hannah Storm, Jalen Rose, and Tim Legler. Plus, WNBA celebrating its 15th season. We'll take a look back at some of the more memorable moments. Game 3 of the NBA Finals tomorrow night on ABC. Dallas evening that series at 1 game apiece. The next 3 being played in Dallas. And that 15-point fourth quarter comeback by Dallas, largest in the NBA Finals since the 1992 series between the Bulls and Blazers.
How many people do you think turned the TV off when they saw that kind of a lead, expecting the game to end very differently than it did?
Especially with the way the Heat have been closing games previously. Lauren Jackson, her second foul. And Dupree will go to the line with 18.4 on the clock. Dupree looking for her first points. She averaged 16 points, 8 rebounds per game a year ago. Coverage begins tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern for Game 3 from Dallas. Buick Regal NBA Countdown. You can also see the game on ESPN 3D. Series tied at 1. And despite the great shooting for Seattle here in the second quarter, it's just a 5-point game after Dupree's free throws. Phoenix has a foul to give as we near 10 seconds to go here in the half. Bird with 5 will take the jumper. Rebound Little. Got it away, but it's short. Diana Taurasi in foul trouble. Seattle shoots lights out, but only a 5-point lead for the Storm at home. A 14-8 close to the quarter by the Mercury. Sue Bird standing by now with Heather Cox.
Dave, thanks so much. Sue, it's been a very physical game. Moments ago, you went down hard on your shooting hand. How is that affecting your game?
It's just how it is, you know. I think both these teams are obviously proven playoff teams, proven champions, and that's what's going to happen. You've been very involved, already 6 assists, but Lauren Jackson, only 1 field goal attempt. How much is it an emphasis for you to get her more involved? It's always an emphasis for us to get Lauren the ball. To be honest, they're doing a great job because they put, 2 and 3 people on at a time. We got to do a better job of working the ball and getting her open. Thanks so much. Welcome back.
All right, Heather, Sue Bird with 8 points and 6 assists as Seattle leads Phoenix at halftime, 40-35. The Storm went 17-0 at home a year ago in the regular season, 4-0 at home in the postseason. Trying to pick up where they left off a year ago, and they're off to a good start leading at the half.